This is Tirumurthy, Assistant Professor from the Department of Management Studies, Nehru Institute of Technology, Coimbatore. Today, we are going to have a discussion on economic growth and development, which is coming under the subject called managerial economics. Okay. First, let me try to understand the important objective of this particular course and how this topic is going to be interrelated with this course called managerial economics. Course objective: to explain the principles of microeconomics relevant to management and organization. Second, to describe principles of macroeconomics to have the understanding of economic environment of business. Our current topic, it is going to match or related with the third objective of the course, to describe principles of macroeconomics to have the understanding of economic environment of the business. It is very important for any businessman to have their economic environmental understanding and how this various factors and forces existing in the economic environment is going to impact on their business operation. One of the very important factor or very important concept which will have a great impact on the business environment is economic growth and stability of a particular country or particular economy. First, let me try to have an understanding about whether there is any difference between economic growth and development. Most of the time when we heard about the term economic growth and economic development, we come to the conclusion both the terms will it be same or interchangeable. But if we get into the topic or after the discussion, you might be understanding there might be a great difference between economic growth and development. First, let me understand what is meant by economic growth. Economic growth is increase in the amount of goods and services produced by an economy over a period of time. Normally, the economic growth of any country, it will be conventionally measured through GDP. So, GDP is all about gross domestic product. What is meant by GDP? That is gross domestic product. GDP is nothing but the monetary value of all the finished goods and services produced in an economy for a specific period of time. For example, in the year 2021, our economy might have produced 1 lakh units of product and services. And if we compare the earlier, that is 2021, the total productivity of a country with the current status, if it is found to be more than 1 lakh, we can say that in the year 2022, we have attained the economic growth. So that is why it is defined like that. Economic growth is all about the total monetary value of all finished goods and services produced in an economy for a particular period of time. How with GDP will be measured? How we will get to know the GDP of a particular country? Okay, there is one simple formula. It will be there to understand the GDP of any particular economy. Okay, GDP is equal to C plus G plus I plus NX. G represents the total consumption pattern existing in an economy for a particular period of time. Likewise, capital G represents government outlay and I represents the total investment pattern existing in an economy for a particular period of time. And last one, NX represents the total amount of goods which has been exported as well as imported from the other country for a particular period of time for a period for which we want to calculate the GDP of an economy. Next, what is all about economic development? So, economic development is not only shaped by only the total amount of goods and services produced in an economy for a period of time, and it also taken into consideration apart from the economic factor, there are certain non-economic factors that we need to calculate, we need to observe and understand with the current period. Okay. The non-economic factors like environmental factors, social factors and cultural conditions of the economy. How we can able to understand whether a particular country or a particular economy is found to be developed or not? I will tell you the simple tips to understand to whether the particular economy which has been developed or not. The first one, increase in output or production. As I stated earlier, compared to the previous period, our current productivity status, if it is found to be increased, we can say that economically we have attained a growth status. Second, changes in economic structure. As I said earlier, in addition to the economic factor, if we see some sort of development in the non-economic factors like social, cultural and political conditions of the economy, we can say that we have attained the development status. Third, the growth has to be accompanied by increase in efficiency. We need to attain the growth, at the same time we have to attain the growth with some efficiency. We can easily compare and calculate or determine the economic growth of a country, but it is not possible that much easy enough to determine the economy whether it is developed or not. So why it is not that much easy? If you see in the slide, it is not easy to measure the development as it is based upon many parameters such as health, education, literacy level and life expectancy and so on. And understanding the current status of all these factors, it is not that much easy enough. That is why it is not possible to calculate the economic development of a status of a country within this short period of time. On the whole, so the course outcome of this particular subject is to have an understanding of economic environment of business. One, can able to understand what is all about economic growth and what is all about economic development, what are the various factors and forces which affects the economic growth of any country, we can able to understand the economic environment, especially talking about macroeconomic environment of a particular economy. Once we understand the macroeconomic environment, then we can able to analyze and understand how this macroeconomic factor will influence or impact our business operation. So that is the entire objective or the entire intention of studying this topic. So in the future oriented classes, okay, we will discuss in detail what about the various factors and forces which will impact the economic status or economic development of any particular nation. So for little more enhancement or in order to enrich your knowledge with regard to this topic, so these are all the few reference information. If you go through this, we can able to enhance and enrich some more information, insights with regard to this particular topic. And last, if you've been interested, we will go with this particular assignment. Once you go with this assignment, as I said earlier, definitely you will improve your insights and information with regard to economic growth and development. Thank you all.